Madam President, Commissioner and colleagues. The people in Iran have massively taken to the streets in peaceful demonstrations, asking for a more just, open and free society, as well as less corrupt leadership. They deserve the EU's unequivocal support and should know the EU has their rights and their freedoms at heart and at the top of our political agenda. And I do worry that the messages from the EU are not clear enough. Yes, we should stick to our word on the nuclear deal and keep Iran to its commitments, but this should not prevent us from engaging the Islamic Republic's leaders on human rights and foreign policy. In Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Lebanon, Iran plays a toxic role. And just because we're both against ISIS or Daesh does not mean we share objectives or interests otherwise. Of course, the Iranian people are well aware that billions worth of support for Hezbollah and Assad's murder machine are not spent on healthcare, infrastructure or education in Iran itself. When the nuclear deal was negotiated, we were constantly reminded that the talks did not cover human rights or Iran's role in the region. So along the same vein, we should not allow for the question marks that President Trump puts to the nuclear deal now to blur our sight. Precisely because human rights and Iran's foreign policy are not part of the nuclear deal, we can confidently address these topics anytime. And we are free to adopt more individual EU sanctions and should not shy away from that. For the EU to be credible, we need to be heard clearly on all fronts and not just in defense of the nuclear deal. So I urge the authorities to free all imprisoned demonstrators, to stop the torture and executions in the prisons, because I'm convinced, and I hope we all are, that the march to freedom by the Iranian people is unstoppable.